Fellow auto detailers, welcome to the show that features interviews with today's most successful auto detailers. This is the Auto Detailing Podcast. Here's your host, Jimbo Balaam.
What's up, everyone? It's Jimbo Tweener, and I'm obviously doing this one as I'm cleaning my car again. That's where I like to do these in-betweeners, so hopefully I don't start breathing too heavy or background noise or whatever. But I just, again, when stuff comes across my plate, I just feel like I'm not the only one going through this stuff. So I really want to, when it happens to me, I want to be vulnerable and share it with you guys to help you guys when you come across this situation. So today, I think the topic of this in-betweener is going to be trust your gut. Now, I've learned, and I think it is kind of a learned thing to be able to monitor, but trusting your gut instinct, especially in business, can really prove to save you a lot of hassle. So sometimes I call it spidey senses, sometimes I call it my gut, sometimes I call it all these different things, my intuition, if you will. But what I've really tried to hone in is that initial gut feeling you get when you come across a situation. And so the situation I've come across before, when I was back doing a lot of fleet washes, it was like, if I was uncomfortable, my gut was telling me that the area I was in was uncomfortable. I would try to fight against that, but more times than not, it would tend to lend itself to be true. Or a customer, if I was getting kind of weird vibes from a customer, kind of like when I talked about in the episode, the customer that I was just getting weird vibes from him, and then he ended up telling me that the car looked worse after I detailed it, even though I knew the products I was using were actually filling the imperfections that he couldn't even see anymore. Anyway, so I had that kind of situation happen again to me today that didn't actually turned out better than I thought, because I'm learning how to handle these situations a little bit better and kind of hit them right on the head versus let the customer explode. So here's the deal. 32-foot RV customer calls me about 2.5 months ago, wants his RV done. I give him a ballpark price over the phone because I don't do any pricing, any exact pricing via the phone at all. No matter what the service is, it's always a ballpark price with final price determined once I can see the vehicle, RV, whatever. So tells me it's a 32-foot RV, no problem. Give him a ballpark price on it for a wash and a wax and to do the roof, exterior only, of course. So then he doesn't want to schedule. I happen to be having a little procedure done, so I wasn't going to be able to do it right when he wanted it done. So he says, I'll call you back and we could schedule it. Well, a couple months go by. He calls me out of the blue, wants to get it done. No problem. We set up an appointment, and right then is when I initially started to feel like, something's not right here. Why did he wait so long to get it done? I don't know. I couldn't really pinpoint it, but again, my gut is telling me, something's not 100% right here. So we scheduled the appointment. He cancels the appointment, and he cancels via text. I text him right back immediately with a couple other appointment times, and he doesn't respond. So I chalked it up as fine, he doesn't want to do it, all good, and move along. Well, he calls me the night before one of the initial time slots that I had given him to do it. So say it was Monday at 9 a.m. He calls me Sunday night saying, hey, I just got your text. It just came through. I don't know why. His words, not mine. Your text just came through. Are you still available tomorrow morning? Which my answer was absolutely not. I don't, even if I had that time available, I don't schedule that close because, frankly, I just don't want him to think that my schedule's that open. So I say no, but I give him a couple other times, schedule him for that. All the while, I'm getting this spidey sense. My gut is telling me don't do it. This guy's going to be a hassle for whatever reason. I really have nothing to base it off of other than this intuition, spidey senses that you try to explain to people and they think you're crazy. So I rescheduled the appointment, and then I ended up canceling the rescheduled appointment because I just did not want to do it. Because I wanted to start listening to my gut and saying, you know what, no, my gut's telling me no, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to walk. The hard part is that it's money, right? And it was good money in this case. So he bugs me a little bit more and actually gets me to come out and do the RV on a different day. The night before, so last night, he calls me to confirm today. I say, yeah, we're still on. I decided I'd bring some help with me to knock it out sooner. So that is the first initial time he tells me, oh, wait, it's not an RV. It's a fifth wheel. Okay, fair. Not that big of a deal. But again, plays into my spidey senses of going, well, why did he call it an RV? Now, I guess you could technically be a jerk about it and say, yeah, it is technically an RV, but an RV and a trailer and a fifth wheel is very different. So again, it plays into my spidey senses of like, okay, well, why didn't he tell me that it was a fifth wheel before? Whatever. Go out, start doing the fifth wheel, and immediately, first of all, him and his dad are there sitting in their garage and the fifth wheel's in their driveway, and they start watching as I do everything. It takes about 10 minutes for them to pull the rig out. Again, my spidey senses going up again. And all the while I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I do this? Why did I do this? And he's asking questions. I actually had help, and we foamed it and had to do the roof was pretty much black. It was in good shape. It was only about a year old, but the roof was still like black. Got that taken care of. Then we foam it, and he's talking about, oh, what is that? Asking them questions like, is that the soap? With the whole thing foamed, it's like, well, obviously it's a soap. What does it look like? And I'm explaining the wax process and why we're not going to do a machine wax on it and all that. And he's just endless with the questions, just won't stop with the questions. And I know what's coming of like, this is one of the type of customers that thinks they know what they're doing. Not sure why they have called out a detailer because they think they know everything. And so just not sure why they won't do it themselves. So anyway, complete the job. In all honesty, the fifth wheel turned out super good. The roof, we brought it from black and moldy and gross to it looked brand new. The sides of the RV, of course there's helicopters going by. The sides of the RV were not only cleaned, no black streaks. The trailer really did look phenomenal. About, my help left and then the customer starts getting up on ladders and wiping stuff and making a mess. So I stopped. The RV was pretty much done. I stopped working on the car, packed up my stuff, and told him I'm done. And he started probing questions like, well, what about this? What about that? What about this dirt? And I go to look at the dirt, and it's actually adhesive behind a piece of molding on the fifth wheel that had dirt in the adhesive, which was crazy. So it wasn't really my fault. It was because he hasn't really maintained it. Anyway, this and that. So I finally, since I knew that this was going to happen, my spidey senses, and the whole purpose of this episode is to trust your gut and just don't do it. The fact of the matter is, though I got paid for it, though he wasn't that much of a hassle, I still had to be a little aggressive with him, and I don't really like doing that. I had to be a little confrontational with him because he thought he was going to try to strong arm me. So I had to be aggressive with him and say, hey, look, this is my rule. Though I'm here and you hired me, this is my rule. And this is really what I said to him. This is my rule. The second a customer starts working on the vehicle, RV, trailer, whatever you want to call it, I stop working. Because you start creating more work for me that you're not paying me for. This RV, this trailer, whatever, looks phenomenal. Brought it way back. It's 150% better than it was when I got here. The second you start working on it, I stop working. So you started working on it, and the second you started working on it, I stop. So all these little things that you're talking about now, I'm not concerned about because maybe you put them in there. Because that's what I've had in the past is the customers say, oh, that'll buff right out, just watch, let me do it real quick. And then they do it and they make a bigger mess, and then I have to clean up the mess that they made. So the second, and I'm explaining all this to them. So the point is, trust your gut. Trust your gut. Don't Just trust your gut. If you don't feel good about a situation, you don't feel comfortable with the situation, walk away. It's much better to walk away because this situation, even though it worked out good this time, it could have worked out really bad. And that's, as I've shared on the podcast, what's happened before, where the situation actually turns out really bad. So the point is, like I've documented, and again, this is more of a documentation than anything, but I get so many people that reach out and say, oh man, that situation totally helped me. Your experience helped me deal with this customer and blah, 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 blah. So that's why I want to kind of document these because no one really talks about it. So again, handle the situation like you're the owner of the business because you are, and you're in control, and you do know more than your customer. So you got to act like that without being a total jerk, obviously. You don't need to be a total, you don't need to be a total jerk back like that guy was being to me, and I'm not trying to be butthurt or anything like that. It was just, I knew that I did a good job, and I wasn't going to take crap from anyone about it because the rig did look really good, and just because I don't do work in the fashion that some people think that it needs to be done doesn't mean I'm doing it wrong, and neither should you. So that's my little tidbit for today of just own it. You're the owner. You started this company because you want to be your own boss, and you got to act like that. And sometimes people are going to try to bully you, and the only way to get out of the situation is not to bully them back, but to stand up and show them that you're not going to be bullied. So I walked out of there, got paid cash, right? So there's no, he can't take the money back from me. I made sure I got paid that day. It was very clear on what the price was. So do the same. Just don't let people bully you. Don't let them act like they know more than you do about detailing, because chances are you know 100% more than they do, or else they wouldn't be having you out. And that's really at the end of the day, that's really what it's about, right? Is why are you hiring me then? If you have the time to sit out here and watch me, and then you want to critique me and then belittle my work, why did you even hire me in the first place? So and you could say it right in that tone, right? And then it kind of puts in question to them of like, why'd you even hire me? Why am I even here? I didn't call you to solicit the work. You solicited me. But if you can do it, and you know what products are better, and you don't think my work is good, why did you even call me out? And then it puts it back on their end of like, oh yeah, maybe I don't know everything. So again, this isn't for every customer. This isn't how you want to totally run your business of being like this staunch kind of asshole person. This is strictly only for when you run into a situation with a customer that tries to bully you. So again, more of a documentation than a creation, and that's why this is kind of an in-betweener episode, not a real episode, because it's just me documenting what's going on to try to help you further. So hopefully this helps, and catch you on the next one. And don't forget, trust your gut instinct. It's probably right. 8 out of 10 times it's going to be right, just like mine was. Luckily, I got out of this one a little unscathed. So there we go.